I went against the grain, and it was tough. It's been a tough time to get that stuff out, but it's so gratifying. It's so worth it to get this stuff out rather than keep it in. So
opening up and talking about it, sharing. So for anyone that's still afraid, I mean, we've multiple times we've said you can talk to either one of us.
Yeah, for sure.
And we mean that. And I think that's kind of the way to get started, or talk to people that you know that you can trust.
Even if you have to write it down, just get it outside of you,
Right,
because
like journal.
It's like if I think that I'm hurting this person who did this to me, by holding on to that, you know what I mean? It's like drinking poison and hoping they're going to die.
Right.
It doesn't. It doesn't anything. That person doesn't know that I'm mad. The only person that's really hurting in all this is me.
Right.
But being a victim, right?
Yeah.
And what purpose does that serve? That person doesn't even know or care to know how I'm feeling.
Right.
So I might as well. It's like one of those. I remember a guy said, "Shit or get off the pot."
Yeah.
You got to get well or not get well. And Shawshank Redemption, right? Get busy living or get busy dying.
Yeah.
And you have to make that cognitive choice to get busy living. I have written down here, if you have a miserable life, that equals a choice.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's a choice every time. If you have a miserable life, that's a choice. You have a choice to have a happy life too. And you got to take steps to get a happy life, whatever your happiness is, whatever your definition of happiness is.
Right. No, I agree with you, buddy. And I'm glad that you were able to bring that up, because there definitely are people out there that still hold on, and this is where stigma comes in, that still hold on to their past and have a tough time letting it go, or even talking about it, right? And they're kind of dwelling on it and ruminating about it. And they need to hear it from someone that's been through that shit, and can give them advice.
Yeah. Use that pain as your power.
Yeah.
That's what I finally did. I didn't let it have power over me. I got power over it. I think that a lot of that happened when I was in court.
Yeah.
And I got to give this person his shit back, his embarrassment, his guilt, his shame, and say it's yours. It's
yours to deal with.
It's not my shame. It's my story to tell.
Yeah, for sure.
And I took my power back. I think we can all, when we've been through trauma, we can take that power back.
Yeah. It's just a matter of how your situation, they won't have the opportunity to relive your situation. Right. How they do it in their own way.
It's all individualistic, right?
Yeah.
But I think that we all have to, at some point, not let anyone have power over us.
Right. I agree.
We gotta have power over ourselves.
I agree. And that's the thing, is having power over yourself also means change.
Yeah.
Right?
You gotta make that change.
Because right now it could be totally you that's holding yourself down.
Right.
It may be hard to believe, but you're definitely getting something out of holding on to this negative behavior. Perhaps it helps you to avoid conflict, and you need to work on being assertive. As you said, buddy, good call. Perhaps you're afraid to start a new relationship because of past experiences. Whatever happened with, did you ever have a fear of starting a new relationship?
Oh, absolutely. I think I really struggled with that relationship stuff because I was in a relationship when I was, when I was sexually assaulted.
Yeah.
And my partner at the time didn't believe me.
Right. So that was a huge trust thing.
That was huge for trust, right? And so I've taken that to every single relationship I've ever had, right?
Yeah.
Not that they're not going to trust me about what happened. I mean, if anyone wants to see you can go to Freedom of Information and see a conviction report. It's not like it didn't happen, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was just really thrown off that Amber at the time. My partner at the time didn't believe me, and she wanted me to go to the police and tell them that it didn't happen, and that really screwed up me trusting anyone for anything.
Right.
Because this is a person that I was living with, and I don't know if I was really in love with her, to be honest with you. I think that we were just playing house.
Right.
Ultimately,
you're young.
I was so young at that time.
In your new relationship now, how have you worked through that? Or is that triggering some anxiety at all? Or are you getting through that?
I think that it's, I'm very open with it.
Yeah.
And my partner now supports that and loves it and doesn't really even look at what I've been through. Right. At all. It's kind of a non-issue.
That's cool.
And that's the first time I've ever had that, I think.
Right.
And that's healthy that that's a non-issue. It's not who I am. That's a long time ago, and this is who I am now. And I don't regret the things that I've been through because it's built this person that I am today, and I'm okay with being open with that. My partner's okay with she can ask me questions anytime about anything that I've been through, and we've had that conversation. It was something that I had to get out early in the relationship. Obviously, you gotta toss that out because it's a thing that you don't want someone to find that out after a year of dating that you're a sexual abuse survivor.
Right. Sure.
It's one of those things that I had to let go of right away and get that out and open up about it. And it's awesome to have a partner that embraces that and doesn't kind of look down on me and just says, you know, I'm going to support you and love you through all this, no matter if you have triggers or if you have this kind of stuff. It's really cool.
So what you're saying is it's really important to always make sure that, you know, your past experience is your past experience, but the person that you're potentially partnering up with is not that person.
No.
It's time to kind of leave that and tell them about it, but let them know and help you through it.
Yeah.
They might have some skills to help you.
Well, they might have a different perspective, you know, and that's, I think, what's wrong with someone else's perspective, right?
Yeah.
It's very narrow-minded if I think my perspective is the only way.
100%.
I need other people's perspective.
100%. So you're getting the excuse you need to live your life to the fullest potential, or you're getting the excuse you need not to live your life to the fullest potential. So basically, anytime that you kind of make an excuse and blame your anxiety or depression, there's probably something that you could be doing that you're maybe afraid of doing.
Oh, yeah.
Subconsciously, it's easier to choose this behavior than it is to make tough decisions. We fear that the anxiety of making the wrong decision may be worse than staying stuck, but that is far from accurate. If you keep moving forward, the opportunity that is best for you will appear. It may take some time, but the anxiety you experience from making change is far easier to handle than the anxiety and depression that occur when you stay still.
Right. I think, why are we making so many excuses about getting well?
I don't know.
You know, we have so many validations for staying depressed.
Yeah.
And so many excuses for not getting well.
Yeah.
We should switch that up, you know? Like, we should have valid reasons for getting well.
There's lots of things that we should do that we don't, and I don't understand that.
Yeah.
I was just thinking today.
Because we should all over ourselves, you know?
Yeah, but I was just thinking today, I was just thinking, like, you know, if everybody just operated from a sense of, like, if we knew that we went up to someone and that person was going to be friendly to us and there was going to be no fear of them not saying hi or them being dickheads, if everyone was just compassionate and operated from a sense of like a good heart and a place of love, think about how different the world would be. We wouldn't be polluting, we wouldn't be killing, like slaughtering animals. It would be just, we'd be helping one another.
It'd be a euphoric kind of society, right?
Yeah, I don't understand why there has to.
Because the yin and the yang.
I know the yin and the yang, but it's fucking annoying.
It's stupid. You know? Like, I think I had an Alcoholics Anonymous sponsor one time, and he said, I used to be miserable. When I came into recovery the first few times, I was miserable. I wouldn't smile. I was just like, don't want to be here. Someone else is making me be here. And this sponsor said, God rest his soul, he's gone. I love him to death, but he gave me the best advice ever. He said, even if you're in the park, smile at someone.
Yeah.
You know, and they might be miserable, and they might be like, why is that guy smiling at me?
Yeah, right? Probably.
And you can piss them off by smiling. And I was like, you're right, man. Like, this guy was so right. So, you know, if I walk in Springbank, or if I'm, you know, a lot of older people don't necessarily embrace the tattoos that I have, and they give me some dirty looks, and I just give them smiles. Yeah. I just smile at everyone now, right? In the park, because I think maybe they need that little boost. Yeah. And if they don't, then I piss them off, you know?
I never thought of it that way. That's actually a good way to...
Like, just smile at people, right?
And it makes you feel good.
It does make it... Well, ultimately, that's what it does, right? That's what the point of this guy.
Well, even just smiling itself is kind of proven to raise your elevate your mood.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And if you like to piss people off with smiles, like, kill them with kindness.
Yeah, it's always the best way to operate, but sometimes... I mean, we sit here and talk, and we're human too. I know that anger is still something that I have to work on when people fuck with me in like a really below the belt kind of way.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, it's really vengeance. It's really just shitty. Yeah. That's sometimes I feel like I want to just put people in their place in the most angry way.
Yeah, for sure.
But I also know that I'll end up in jail pretty quick.
Yeah.
So
we'll let karma handle that.
Yeah, so it takes me a bit. I calm down and let it go.
Give me a 24-hour rule.
Yeah, but like it's the same thing. It's you know, because I used to be a pretty angry guy. I used to get in a lot of fights. I used to, you know.
No way.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I've been in the police station on video for assault charges. Yeah. I got off, but I've been pretty close. I've been in the ambulance a few times. Yeah. So when I was younger, and it all came from a place of insecurity and a place from trying to impress people that were like, you know, and also because I was so emotionally weak.
Right.
That I wanted people to see that I was tough on the outside so they would fuck with me in an emotional way.
Absolutely.
And then I started getting, as soon as you get strong sort of from the inside out, you realize...
Soften up a little bit.
Yeah, and you don't need any of that.
Yeah.
And you can kind of look at people and just see what's going on with them. And it's like, instead of being angry and worked up, you kind of have a little bit of compassion. Say, I wonder what happened to them today. Or I wonder what's going on in their life that's so bad.
Yeah.
But that still all comes back to what kind of choices are they making.
Right, exactly.
Right? So,
and we're all bound by our choices.
We are.
Ultimately.
For sure. It may seem hard to believe at first, but it is so true that you're getting something from all of this. Right now, you're stuck in a rut of bad, repetitive habits. People will always have 1,000 reasons why they're miserable, angry, and unhappy. Some people, this is perfect for what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Some people actually want to blame their anxiety and depression on other people. It's their children, it's their spouse, it's their parents, etc. It's no one else's fault anymore when you are an adult, which most of you are, I'm assuming, because we try to target 18-year-olds.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're younger, you probably still have a little bit of maturing to do, and you can get away with blaming it on other people. But if you're an adult and you're over 18, you're capable of taking responsibility for the way that you feel. And you're also capable of taking the necessary steps to improve and change. Fuck, I wish I had done this stuff back when I was 18, 19 years old. A lot of problems would have been eliminated, But
then you wouldn't be the guy that you are today.
I know, man. I was just going there, right? You always do that. You always like, man, if I could go back in time, this would happen, and I'd change this and I'd change that. But I'm pretty content right now.
Yeah. I don't mind who you are. I think you're a decent guy.
Thanks, buddy.
I think you're a great guy. I wouldn't change anything.
Vice versa, man. And I think so
brother.
as well. It's just like we talked about with the lotus flower, right? Like,
grows in mud.
Grows in. It's been through, in shit.
I always say in shit.
Comes up through some shit, and it's a beautiful thing at the end. Right now, you're choosing to respond in an anxious way, which justifies all the other thoughts that you have. So, reacting, we've talked about as well. I mean, I think now we're at the point where, again, it all kind of relates, but we talk about how we respond rather than react.
Right. Yeah.
And if we're feeling that urge to react, it's that 10-second rule or the 24-hour rule,
just
right?
give her 5,
It's focus on breathing, and you have to think about whether or not you're even going to remember this in a year.
Right.
And let it go. It's not all battles are worth fighting.
Yeah, like pick your battles. Would you rather be right or would you rather be at peace?
Exactly. Peace is better.
I'd much rather be at peace.
Peace is underrated. Why does everybody...
It's so underrated.
If you look at everything that happened, and I know we have a lot of U.S. people on here, but what's going on in Virginia, man? That was crazy yesterday.
Yeah, that hurts my heart.
I know. It's just so much hatred.
It is. And love is so much louder. Like, love is so much louder. Whether you're black, white, purple, green, turquoise. I don't care what color you are. Love is louder, right?
Yeah.
All our hearts are pink.
I know.
When they cut us open,
some people...
all our hearts are pink.
Some people I wonder.
Some people I wonder about the blackness of their heart.
Yeah. I mean, some of the people starting these political shitstorms.
Yeah.
But anyway.
That's a whole other ball.
It's a whole other ballgame.
Yeah.
If you're someone who is very skeptical, critical, cynical, or someone who is always trying to see problems with things, that right there is a sign that you have a hard time with change.
Yeah.
You often do that because if it doesn't work, you're not disappointed, you're not let down, and that way you can always be right. And that's something that really got to me because I started thinking, how many people sacrifice precious time in their lives just so that they can be right. Or try, even if there is no right answer, they want to
prove that they're right.
It's the ego, man.
Yeah,
the ego will get you. But it's not worth it.
Egomaniac.
Yeah, it's not worth it. No. It's really not. Like if you're in a relationship and you're not talking to your significant other for days because you want them to apologize. Yeah, come on. I mean, really?
Pull up your big boy pants, your big girl pants. Let's be adults, right?
Whatever happened to that rule that don't go to bed angry. That's a really good one. Just everybody needs a relaxation tape in the house. Separate. Do your breathing, come back and talk to each other,
Pretty simple.
I just hate that. And I'm guilty of that too. I mean, past relationships that I've been in haven't worked out because of my ego.
Yep, for sure.
I think I can safely say that.
Oh, for sure, yeah. I think for myself as well.
Yeah, and it's just because you same thing. I mean...
You almost sabotage it sometimes, You almost sabotage good relationships because of your ego.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if I'd call them good relationships. I don't know if they were really positive, any of them really... For what I am looking for long term, but I think that it was always, in certain instances, things were always my fault.
Right.
And I was always taking the blame, and I really was like, well, she should apologize this time, you know? And then that's when I really got it. Like, nope, that's not going to happen.
You put the expectations on them, if they don't meet them, done.
But there's a way to express yourself, and I think that, I don't know, I think that if you're always operating with the intention of taking care of the other person And if you can drop the selfish feelings of like, I need to be right, and focus on like, how are they feeling? What did I do to make them feel shitty? And then start to build them up again and make them feel love. I think that's a good way to do it.
For sure.